Hello, everyone. I'm going to discuss how to disarm America. You see, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that I'm very pro-gun. However, when trying to figure out what your adversary will do, you ask yourself, what would you do if you were him? That is one of the basic things they'll teach you in ROTC or at any military academy or anyone or anywhere else that discusses military tactics or strategy. Politics not is very similar to this, and that you ask yourself, what would your opponent do? What would if you, when you want to figure out what your opponent will do, you ask yourself, what would you do if you were them? So okay, I'm going to jump into their boots for a second and assume that I'm an anti-gun politician. Um, One of the first things I would do is, of course, go after semi-automatic rifles, such as AR-15s, AKs, SKSs, M1As, and all that good stuff. I would say, that they're military weapons and shouldn't be in the hands of civilians. I would point out that all these weapons are service rifles or civilian versions of service rifles and should not be in public use. I would then point to all the school massacres and, you know, mass shootings and things like that, despite the fact that they make up for a very small amount of people killed in the USA. I would also totally gloss over the fact that the majority of weapons deaths in this country are by suicide. Um, After that, I would make effort to tax weapons, tax ammunition especially, and impose a sale tax on ammunition. I would also try to get background checks for ammunition. Try to get like background checks for ammunition to make it even more inconvenient for people to buy it. I would impose all these kinds of regulations on, you know, make it impose all these kinds of regulations about weapon storage and things like that. So, like, say each gun must be locked in a safe and all that stuff. Therefore, making everybody who had a gun make it mandatory that they buy a safe and all that stuff, which would be even more money. And then I would try to ban body armor, especially quote unquote military style body armor, like basically anything above level 3A. Um, you could also try by banning various scopes and other sites like red dots, ACOGs, and things like that. Um, and I would increase, things like, again, taxes. I would also, another thing I would go after that I'm surprised no one else has gone after is collapsible butt stocks. Oh, yes, and quote unquote, high capacity magazines, which is basically anything above 10 rounds. And, you know, there's a lot of stupid laws that you can imply, like, no bayonet mounts. When's the last time you heard of somebody getting killed by a bayonet? I mean, seriously. And if they were killed by a bayonet, they wouldn't put it on the end of a rifle. I mean, my God. I would also, you know, make it increase regulations on shooting ranges and things like that, making it even more inconvenient. Try to create all these regulations so, gun stores couldn't open and things like that. Gun stores would have to close down because it would just be too expensive for them. And see, there's lots of ways around the Second Amendment, unfortunately, that can be implemented. And also I would increase like the try to add on to the Gun Control Act of 1968. I would ban open carry, that sort of thing. I would make it so anybody with like any kind of mental defect couldn't get a gun. Like if they have autism, bipolar disorder, depression, if they're on any type of medication, that's what I would do. And there are already laws similar to this, but I would just tighten them up. And another thing I would do is like say that if your gun is stolen and it's used in a crime, you're responsible for it and all that stuff. And I would make it like if your gun is stolen, it's automatic criminal negligence and things like that. And anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed my video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sic Semper Tyrannis, Mulan Labe, and don't tread on me. Be good, y'all.